Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tennis Manager. We're on episode number 13. Kazindseva, we focused on her looking at development last time, but every tournament that she was automatically registered to was low-level junior tournaments that she won quite a few of, but there was no competition in those. She's ranked 8th in the junior tournament rankings, so in the junior tournament league. For that, she belongs in better competition, which of course for us, we're looking at the finances more than anything. I mean, yes, I want to see Kazindseva develop, but at most she's going to be about 3.5 stars. It's not like she's going to be this phenomenal player out on the tour. Of course, the better she is, the higher the tournament she can get in. So yes, there is a balance. We do want her to develop, but her primary purpose for us, short and medium term and probably long term as a player, is that we're looking for her to help us financially. So we're going to try something this time around, and that is I've gone in and manually picked some tournaments for Kazindseva, and it's a combination of two types of tournaments: World Tour lower level tournaments and the highest junior tournaments. If she's ranked 8th in the junior tournaments, she should be capable of playing in those higher tournaments. And even if she doesn't get that deep in them, they're still going to end up paying out similar or higher than what she was getting in those tiny little ones. And I don't necessarily care what her rank is on the junior tour. We want to build her rank in the senior tour. We want to get her into bigger tournaments, and we'll see what happens with that over the next handful of weeks, if she performs better or differently. But at the same time, we're on the verge of player number 3. And we'll see what happens with that as our facility upgrade is nearly done. May has become profitable. Let's see what happens as we push forward. Another tiny tournament that she was already registered for. I think it was a little too late. It was only a day prior, and so with that, she enters as the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed is ranked 150th on the junior circuit, so heavily favored to win this tournament, and we're gonna kind of just skip forward right through the rounds. 6-0, 6-0 in the first, 6-0, 6-1 in the second. So we've already won 24 games and lost just 1 out of 25 overall played. 6-1, 6-0 in the quarterfinal. Again, 6-0, 6-0 in the semifinal, totally dominating this tournament so far. And the final is comfortable as well, as we crush the 3 seed well down in the rankings. 6-1, 6-2, 61% of points won, 6 aces, though she had 6 double faults in this one, something we haven't seen, uncharacteristic of her. 36 total winners, 14 unforced errors, not fantastic, but you can see at this level, at the junior level, there are just so many weak players. And Kazindseva isn't a weak player. She's not Anne, but she's competent as a player. And so I'm looking forward to see what she could do with better competition, because that is yet another title for her in which we earn $530, making no real dent in the cost of the 2 new coaches that we brought in. Even with tournament play as the primary focus, Kazindseva is still developing well in the days in between or on the court from the tournaments. You can see she gained an 11.5% in natural fitness just from participation, right? She went all the way through that tournament, winning every round, and that was almost all of her time spent. I mean, there was maybe 1 day of light training, and we still see significant gains. So I don't mind keeping her on the circuit, keeping her active, keeping her involved in tournaments as a primary thing, though we will need to watch her fitness as time goes on, make sure that we don't overdo it, give her a rest when necessary. And in 1 week of regular training, for comparison, yes, we do see massive gains for Kazindseva: speed, anticipation, tactical skills, all seeing 20 to 27% jumps. So yeah, huge, quick. It's nice to see that, but again, focusing on trying to keep the finances on the go at this point in our playthrough. And meanwhile, just finished the French Grand Slam, so she was in Paris for that one. Now, her 19% cut for getting to the round of 32, so second round, was 36,000. Nice little cut there. That actually might have been third round, I believe, that she got into this time around. That already turns us into a nicely profitable month. 260,000 now in the bank, and we are on the verge of getting that business upgrade on the go. Just in the past day or two, the game saw a new update, and I did take a quick look at the notes on that update, and I've already seen one of the key parts of the update playing out here, and that Castola, this is our juniors Grand Slam, by the way, the French junior Grand Slam, so we're in Paris as well. Mid-tournament minor injuries with the option to pull out. If you continue on, the minor injury could become a major injury. If you pull out and forfeit, the round ends there, and the other competitor moves on. I really like that. Obviously, that is something we see in real life. The only worrying part is now there's another element of injuries into the game that could cause problems. Well, anyway, Kazindseva, who now sits ranked number 9, those small tournaments, even though she's winning, aren't picking up enough points, so she's actually decreasing in rank by winning those little baby tournaments than competing in the higher ones. So now we are in a higher one, and we enter as the 5 seed, fairly heavily favored, but this is higher than anybody we placed in that played against in that last tournament whatsoever. Prize money is a bit better. Still not much. These junior tournaments just don't pay terribly well. I can understand why. They don't get any actual coverage. It's your development circuit. But let's see how this develops. She's got a nice path to get into at least the round of 8. Tight first set, 7-6 with a tiebreaker that went down to the wire, but then 6-1 in the second game, pulling away comfortably. 9 double faults, so really struggling there yet again. 29 unforced errors. You can see just how dominant she is just by looking at the bars. I mean, it's quite evident how much stronger she is than the opponent, but she's also the one making mistakes, prone to mistakes, and keeping the match closer than it could and should be. We have a tougher opponent in the second round, 44th ranked junior player. This might be the best one we've gone up against thus far since signing her. However, it's not somebody who's won a lot of their matches, but that doesn't mean that she hasn't been playing against better opponents on a regular basis. I mean, there's a reason why she's ranked 44th, but at 17 years old, she's still only just inside the junior rankings. 24 matches played, really, not a lot, but that's just on clay. So actually, that's quite a few matches on clay over the last year. We'll see how we do with this one. We're going to try to keep things balanced. I'm not going to go and play this one out. I'm determined, at this point in time anyway, that this season is about developing facilities. That's the key. That's the focus. That's the path. If this series is going to continue long term, I need to get down the road faster. I need to get through these early seasons a bit quicker. A junior Grand Slam, I mean, come on. It's important, but the payout's $21,000. Kazindseva is important to me, but I mean, come on, let's be real. She's not. She's a stepping stone. She is there for a reason. She's there for a purpose. We certainly picked her, but she's not a 5-star potential player. She's not my hope for the future. She is a 1-star team getting somebody who's good for us, but she's not good for everybody else. She's not going to do a whole lot of winning. It's fine. We deal with it. We move on, and we simulate to keep things moving right along. We struggled through the first set, losing 5-7, but we do fight back and get on to the next round. 11 double faults again. Opponent had 8 double faults. We're seeing a lot of that here in the junior rankings where people just aren't as talented. 70 winners to 50, so both of them capable of beating the other, but then also both with a lot of unforced errors. But 39 for Kazindseva. Really need to clean things up for her. Round of 16, almost all seeded players left at this point. We are the 5 seed. We're up against the 28 seed. We have an advantage on this one. It's only a slightly better player than what we played last time. I think we might be able to get past this, but then we're facing a matchup against a much higher ranked opponent either way, 2 or 14 seed. 6-2, 6-0. Pretty comfortable this time. Still 6 double faults, but 6 aces. 24 winners. Cut back on the unforced errors quite a bit, only 12 this time, where our opponent was 12 and 19. And that new forfeit mechanic bites at the number 2 seed, giving us a chance here. We're actually ranked higher than who we go up against this time. 9 versus 19 or 5-14 in the case of the tournament. We have a chance to get out, and then our semifinal matchup is against the person who surpassed us in the rankings despite us not losing any matches along the way from when we had that 8 seed until now. Adrieva, who we're going up against this time, we've already beaten twice. And we just make it 3 times in a row. 7-5, 4-6, 6-2. 53% of points won. Both struggling with the aces and double fault combo. Total winners, slight edge, 54-49. Unforced errors, slight edge, virtually neck and neck, 26-27. That is an incredibly tight match. There's no major advantage point except, from what I can see here, second serve points won, 53% for Kazindseva, but just 37% for Adrieva. So when she gets down to that second serve, she's definitely a bit weaker. Serve power, also, you could see the first and second serve speed. Kazindseva a bit stronger. Net points, perfect, 6 for 6, where the opponent just 3 for 7 into the net or long, or maybe wide. 4 of those 7 attempts. Again with the forfeit, as the 4 seed is out in the first set. That's a lot of injuries. I don't know if it's because the lower natural fitness of the junior players that we see more injuries. Very well could be. Though in real life, it kind of works differently, right? As we get older, we're more fragile and more prone to injury. When you're younger, yeah, you get little stuff and you don't handle it the same way because you don't know, because you haven't suffered injuries in the same way. You can't battle through them as well. So, okay, I can see the forfeits to minor injuries. At the same time, you know, the body's more malleable. Fight off injuries and go on. Well, anyway, semifinal. We got a 1-7 matchup with the 1 seed, who is ranked 3rd on the junior circuit, into the finals. So that is a tough challenge ahead of us. And we actually have our easiest matchup for the last 2 to 3 rounds here against the 31 seed, or 31 ranked 23 seed, Rachel Gallus. Let's see how Kazindseva does. Will she make it into the final, which I suppose will play out the final if we get there. 2-1 head-to-head. So it is a tougher opponent who has beaten us before. And she gave it a go. She beat us 6-0 in the first set, but 6-3, 6-3 in the last 2 sees us through. Only 5 aces, 9 double faults, neither one doing well in that department. 51% on the points won. Kept it very close throughout. 41 winners to 35. 25 unforced errors to 18. Net points, again, a strength for Kazindseva, perfect at the net. But there's no standout in there that suggests that she should have won this match. In fact, break points was a bit of a weakness. First serve, slight advantage. She just hit a few more winners. That was kind of the main thing. She never dominated. The 2 sets she won, she lost 3 games in each of them. The 1 set she lost, she got hammered. She got pummeled. So almost very fortunate. This is very surprising because we go to enter this final against the number 3 ranked junior opponent. She's 17, so there's a reason kind of why she's up there. She's won a lot of matches, and she's a bit older, so it's added up, and we can see she's only taken a single week off in the last, 11 weeks as shown on her latest results. So she's very busy, very, very active. She doesn't double fault very often at all, just 1.74%. So she's really consistent. That's a worry for us, as we have not been very consistent. These two have played each other 3 times head to head, and somehow Kazindseva has won all 3 of those. Great first serve. Kazindseva already off to a nice start. But we can already see that the opponent, pretty decent. She can't get to that one. We get the winner. Oh, just out. And double fault right off the bat. Yikes. Back-to-back double faults. Oh, she's giving it away. That was in. So unlucky on that one. After 2 double faults in a row, she had what should have been an ace. We'll just watch this first game, and then we're going to really speed things up. Because, again, even though it's a junior Grand Slam and it's the final, I'm focused on the long-term goals and objectives. She gives away the first game with faults, with unforced errors. The double faults could be the key today if our opponent almost never double faults at 17. She's got her serve pretty well figured out, and Kazindseva does not. Battles back. It looked like she was going to lose this game, but now she's got advantage. It's a pivotal game 5 as they were level at 2 apiece, and Kazindseva does come away with the win, so now at 3-2. There's still a lot of this set to be played, but it puts her in a pretty strong position because she can afford to give away a game or 2, but still be close, still be tight. All she has to do is win 1 out of 3, and they're level at 4 apiece. If you're able to claim 2 of them, suddenly you're up 5-3. Kazindseva right now really playing her opponent down the middle. She's not using side to side very well, but it does help her stay away from the unforced errors. But her opponent's a little too good to beat her that way. And she doesn't make the unforced errors, so I think that's one of the ways that she's given away a lot of points. She's not putting her on her heels. She's comfortable. It is 4-4, by the way. Now 5-4. Now the advantage. She only did win 1 out of those 3. But that's why I wasn't as worried about it, because you can afford to survive that, because now she gets 2 out of 4, and she's right back to a 5-4 lead and playing for the set with advantage. She could claim this first set right here. Advantage again. Back to deuce. Now on the disadvantage. Oh, it is 5-5. Can't put it away. Can't say she didn't have chances to win this set, but now she trails 5-6. She's going to have to force this to tiebreakers. Oh, and she loses the set. Ouch. Ouch, ouch. Led 5-4 and loses 7-5. That one hurt. That one hurt. She had every opportunity to win that set, and now she's going to have to play from behind against a higher ranked opponent here in the final, where she's, well, they're both quite stressed, honestly. Fatigue has got to be starting to set in. You can see Kazindseva is actually looking okay. She's a bit tired, but Fritvertova is quite tired. I mean, she's not quite down to 50%, but she is definitely going to be fatigued. So you start moving her side to side a little bit, you can get a lot of winners that way. And looking at how things are turning out here in the second set, I think that fatigue might be starting to set in. It was 3-0 on games, and then she almost made it 4-0, but it was close. She's looking, Kazindseva that is looking much more comfortable here in this second set. And the fatigue part, how deep they're going into each game, is now playing to Kazindseva's advantage. Will she even this at a set apiece? Fighting back. Vertova makes it 3 games. She was down 3-0. Now it's 4-3. And she evens it. Wow. The 17-year-old is showing her worth, showing her talent. She's definitely heading for a strong future as a pro. And Kazindseva, who now trails 4-5. Battle back she does. It's 5-5. Fatigue really setting in now. Kazindseva also tired. I think that's where she kind of lost the advantage. But now you can see just how tired Vertova is. But she's on the verge of putting Kazindseva away. This is for the tournament. And she takes it. 7-5, 7-5. We drop late both sets. Oh, that second set looked pretty comfortable there for a little bit. She almost made it 4-0, and then all of a sudden it was 3-1. And momentum just shifted. Dang. That's too bad. But we'll give her the pat on the back. Still, it's a finals appearance for a major tournament at junior level. But yes, it's a good result. And for that one, 7,000. Solid payout for us. Clay season now behind us. Kazindseva, junior rankings, 9th, same as where she started. Points won, better than the previous period. Prize money, 15,000. That's I think that's better than break even. Most of that came down to the tournament we just played, but still, that's good. And we did let the AI handle things for a while, and they just kept putting her in the smallest tournaments, and even with the wins, it wasn't going well. 6 tournaments played out of, I think, 7 weeks since we signed her, but she wins 23 out of the 27 matches. 85% win rate is a very, very good record during that stretch. And meanwhile has moved up 2 spots in the rankings, though she didn't win as many points, but that's also because there was only 6 tournaments played. Shorter season, that is. 64%, so similar win rate to what she normally has. And her prize money was slightly higher despite fewer tournaments. And I think that's because of that extra round that she got through in pairs. And following that Grand Slam, we have our first entry into a World Tour tournament. It's just a rookie 10, so it's the smallest level. Prize money is tiny. But coming in this time, not as a 8 or 9 ranked, but that 1,063rd rank. Of course, we've had 0 World Tour points accumulated as she hasn't even participated in any tournaments. So she comes into this one as the underdog against Bryn, but we'll see if she's actually the underdog, because without participation, how is she going to accumulate points? As we add participation, I think she's going to move up in rankings fairly quickly. At least that's the assumption that I'm making. We'll see if that's actually the case, but I think she could easily move up 500 spots in just a few tournaments played, because I think she's better than what her ranking suggests. We'll see if that's the case, though. And at least on first glance, my assumption is correct. Even though we were outranked by our opponent by some margin, it was actually comfortable. 6-1, 6-1, 28 total winners to 11. Each had 11 unforced errors. We did have 5 double faults, but with 6 aces, you can definitely see Kazindseva better than the lower-ranked opponents, or at least this one lower-ranked opponent. Here in the round of 16, we see a much higher-ranked opponent. This is where I'm thinking we might be settling into in the near future. So we'll see, is Borden too much to handle, or is this somebody that she can beat head-to-head? They've never gone up against each other. It's 22-year-olds, so we've got a real disadvantage in terms of age. But it's somebody who's only won 45% of matches. So can the winning attitude help? It's not somebody who's terribly effective. Very few aces, but does not double fault. And my assumptions so far seem to be ringing true. We're right in that maybe 500 area, 600 area. Borden who's in that 600 area, gave us a contest. We lose the first set 4-6, but then we win 6-4 and then start to pull away a little bit with the final set 6-1. 55% total points won. And you see Borden no aces. But for us, that constant, we can get some, but we also give up some. 9 double faults. 47 total winners to 41. 20 unforced errors to 27. A little bit more consistent, a little bit better off. A little bit more dangerous, especially with the serve. Tight contest, but we come out ahead and get into the next round. I do think we are going to find ourselves overmatched here at some point. I don't think we're going to be winning this tournament by any means, but this should start to create that boost, and it does look like she's capable of playing a bit more often on the Pro Tour in those lower contests, and we could see that rank start to come up. And that might be a good thing for her. Certainly financially, it's going to be a good thing for us. That the junior Grand Slams. This is where I think we might get into trouble. So the quarterfinal against the 3 seed, 455th in the ranking. And like I said, I think we're in that 500 range. So probably we'll give her a tight contest, but would most likely come out on the losing side. We'll see if that is the case. No, it's not. 6-1, 6-1. Kazindseva maybe is a little bit better off than we thought. 69% on total points won. 8 aces, only 1 double fault today, so she actually just played really well. 31 winners, only 7 unforced errors. Solid day. And I had switched up the game plan, so we'll see if that has anything to do with it. Looking at the 4 that are left, and based on how we've done so far, now you got to figure Kazindseva has a small chance of winning this tournament. And what a start to the World Tour competition that would be for us. I switched to offensive baseline play from the attacking play, trying to work our opponents a little bit better, and we'll see if that pans out well for the second time in a row. It does. 6-2, 6-1. Again, on the comfortable side, fewer faults, fewer unforced errors. I'm liking this play style. We might be sticking with it because we've had a lot of unforced errors since I switched to the offensive style 2 or 3 tournaments ago. We get the 5 seed for the final, and again, this is where I thought we were competition-based. We'll see if she can handle the veteran 27-year-old in this one. And she does it. 6-4, 3-6, 6-4. She has won this Rookie League World Tour tournament. 52% of total points won. More conservative, fewer aces, but again, it's only 3 double faults, so she's that pans out well. She gets the winners comfortably, 44-30. The unforced errors were much, much higher today, 31-17. But all in all, I think this play style might be better suited to Kazindseva where she's at right now, ability-wise. But there you go. Huge tournament win for us. We're going to be wrapping this one up here. Payout for this, okay, it's only 884. It's still small potatoes. Those rookie tournaments pay out similar to the junior tournaments, but it actually does pay out more. And ultimately, it's going to see her rank climb higher. And we'll see if it does anything about her, how do you call it? About her development, if it affects that in any way, it's going to be a good thing, and it's going to help her gain some fame because it's obviously higher level stuff. So really, really happy with this one. Big surprise that she's been able to come out on top and win that one. She's getting into, like I said, bigger junior tournaments. Our next tournament is a junior level 1 instead of the bottom level tournament. It's going to be the high level tournament. So we'll see. You can see the prize money for this upcoming tournament is $7,000, where the tournament we just did, the rookie tournament, was only $1,500. So getting her some higher level experience might be good. It still doesn't pay out. But those junior 4 tournaments that they kept scheduling her for, there's virtually no payout there. So this tournament, these junior 1s, short term, are going to be kind of the way to go for Kazindseva on a regular basis, and then get her into some of those small rookie tournaments at the pro level and start getting her the higher experience there. And then, of course, $12K for the Grand Slam, junior Grand Slam. That's that's a big one as well, getting her into all of those. But I think we're going to start handling her schedule a bit more. Meanwhile, Anne just keeps plugging away. She's getting deep into tournaments and then losing, but she's at least making some progress there. So win some, lose some, 3-1 pretty much in every tournament is what we've seen of late. And for us, that's paying off. We can already see she's up over 270,000 now. We're nearing the turn of the month, so I think right about next month, I'll go ahead and make that investment because technically we just passed the mark we needed, 270K, but I'd like to make a little more money and then have our payout and then make a little more money and be in a little better state to not drop below zero. Meanwhile, we're just over 2 weeks away from that Sports Center level 3 upgrade that is on the way. So that's going to make a big change. That's going to open the door for a third athlete to come in, a little more staff, and to go from there. So really excited by those changes coming. But I think that business center upgrade is definitely necessary short term. That's going to do it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. And bye for now.